Okay, let's. Yeah. I don't know why that's doing that, but it's supposed to be a time. I wouldn't have this problem. All right, it's been a minute. I know I've been very busy, but I've been quite productive actually. This week, had a little, had some hiccups, still having some hiccups, in my own personal life. So you guys pray for me in that. Hold me in the light of God in those areas, as are all personal things, right? They can definitely take a hit on our souls, on our emotions, or our mind, etc. All of that kind of good stuff. So thank you guys for holding me in the light of God in that. If this is your first time on my YouTube, welcome. God bless you forever. This is, or I am rather, Khozmiq NeWage, Dr. Khozmiq NeWage. People call me Doc for short. I am a root doctor, conjurer, spiritualist, a mystic, a prophet. I am I'm an heir, okay, of the spiritual technologies of the African diaspora, primarily hoodoo and southern root work conjure. But I also go into some other things as well that I've come across that have been effective in my own personal magical journey. So not just limited to hoodoo. We cover a number of other topics as well. And I'll tell you up front if I know anything about it, or if I don't know anything about it, or if it's my thing, or if it's not my thing, etc. I am from Charleston, South Carolina, so if I talk a little fast, or you hear a little geechee in there, well, that's where that is from. Not to mention I do have I have my Mars conjunct with Aries. So yeah, that can cause that also. But in the meantime, between time, hey y'all, how y'all doing? We recently just had a webinar on Mojo Bags that was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I just finished the homework, or I call it the homework, but the handouts and the extra bonus material last night into this morning, and I've been getting nothing but good feedback from that. So if you if you attended the live webinar, do check your email. The new links, the working links, are now out, and the videos and some other supplemental material that would edify you is also out in your email inboxes. So check your spam and things like that to make sure that that you got it. I'm trying to. I don't know if it's this. Let me try this. So that's what's been taking up most of my time lately, and it's the remote. Yeah. That's unfortunate. I don't know what happened. This thing got dropped. But yes, but the recording will be up momentarily. I've already got everything uploaded. Also, there is there will be two options for this recording. Once it goes up, there is the regular webinar. There's also the webinar plus bonus, which is an extra $10 fee. But you, I think, 5 extra videos. Is it 4? I think yes, 5 extra videos that will be part of the bonus material as well. All right. So that's what I've got going on. Also, the website is up, not officially, but it's working, it's functional. You guys can place orders there if you have not heard. I've got some new products in the store. All right, go to cosmic.com, cosmic.com/lab, LAB, to see what we have new there. We've got our powders are there. Recently just made some mastery powder. So yeah, that's also in the shop. But what have you guys been up to, and how have you guys been doing? While y'all are figuring that out, I'm gonna be figuring out. There we go. There we go. All right. So, yeah, that's done. What other thing I'm looking at here? You definitely want to get the webinar recording, not only for the video, but there's also a handout. There's also a handout in there that gives you 40 plus mojo ideas. So over 40 different mojo ideas that you can and rearrange and kind of build a bear your mojo bags, right? So definitely check it out for that. Hello, let's see who we have in here. I'm trying to log into my video feed so I can chat with you guys in the chat room. Hey there, I should be getting the last of my consultations done this week, or tomorrow rather. So if you have been pending a consultation with me, you should be scheduled for Friday. If not, reach out to me and let me know. But as far as I've checked, everybody that's been pending a consultation with me should get theirs. If not already, you should be scheduled for tomorrow. So bear that in mind. Let's see here. So yeah, so let's do a Hoodoo Help Desk. You know, what are you guys' questions, or what did you want my commentary or my opinions on? And let's check this chat out here. Okay. Also, you have to forgive me. I have not been getting notified that that the community wall, y'all have been on there typing and chatting and leaving comments and stuff. I have not been getting any of those notifications. It just so happened last night I was doing some things on my YouTube channel, getting links or whatever for the webinar, and I was going to post a picture. It wasn't on my phone, it was on my computer. So that's when I saw that you guys have been commenting and asking questions or whatever. on the community forum. So thank you guys for doing that. I've just did not know that was happening. I'm not getting a notification on my phone or anything. So I would definitely be keeping up with that. I was going to discontinue it because I didn't think I was responding, but you guys have been. So that's really cool. So someone said there, they were looking at chanting techniques. Is this like, excuse me, is like Buddhist chanting or meditative chanting, or, what is the? I'm quite interested in what you mean by that. Chanting can be in a lot of different things to different people. So that's a thought. So ND is in here. S. Alexander is in here. Hey, Tracy. I think it's the same Tracy from what you call it. Goddess of Money. Good to see you. Let's see. Yeah. Did I post that right? Okay. So anyway, I took a break Wednesday from class. I'll be resuming again next week. On Wednesday, so my students, y'all look out for me on Wednesday. And then, of course, be mindful that there's going to be open enrollment for this new session of classes on the 21st of this month, 21st of June. I'll be taking submissions. If you're not familiar with that process, definitely check out some other videos on my YouTube about just search for apprenticeship program. And it'll pretty much give you the breakdown. Really, I'm looking for someone who can commit their time, their money, and their energy. Those three things, right? Submit to me. There are certain questions I want you to answer. And then once we have that, then we'll print out your interest letter. Really, not really application, more like an interest letter. And lay it on the altar and divine over it what the spirits are saying, and if they're giving us license to, bring you on in. Some of you have been told in the last session to reapply. Really? Okay, so you're on point with me because listen, I've been reading his stuff. Reading his stuff here, Jacobus Swart. This is what 500 pages. It's a very thick tome here. It's got incredible stuff in here. I've just been eating this stuff up, and one of my close friends is actually a Kabbalist. So we've been kind of working through this together. I'm actually going to get the other book on divine names. I've been reading on that. I've also been chewing on Nick Farrell's book the Shem Grimoire. I probably won't recommend that one, but I probably teach out of it. There are some books that I would teach from that I wouldn't recommend, simply because you have to have a certain knowledge base in order to crack the book open. And then number two, the person does not give very consistent information as far as it's a lot of eating the meat, spitting out the bone. So Nick Farrell dropped a couple of nuggets in there I thought was good. A couple of other things, it just sounds way too golden dawn for me. And it's just out of my paradigm. So I kind of eat the meat, spit out the bone. I've also been looking at what is it? Is it over there? I think it might be in the car. But looking at some tarot books. So, yeah. Greetings. 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 What do you, oh no, I wouldn't waste my money on Damon Brand books. Not at all. Not at all. For a list of reasons. But no, I wouldn't waste my money on Damon Brand books. I think he had one book. Let me take that back. Damon Brand, no. But there's another author in the Gallery of Magic series publishing. Yeah, he does. And you can tell he just pulls stuff from it. That's why I don't like it. He does not give proper context. It's just kind of like, push and play type magic. And most people don't know what they're playing with. And I'm not that kind of worker. I'm not that kind of teacher. I'm not going to say, here, eat this. I'm going to... That's the way I think also. I don't want people to say, hey, do this. And I'm like, it's kind of one of those no questions asked kind of magic. Just do this. Don't worry about the name or anything like that. Don't worry about where it comes from. It's an angel, believe me. Well, how do we know it's an angel? Believe me. It's a demon, whatever. And, say this or draw this sigil, print this out, and bam, you're ready to go. So, I don't like that whatsoever. I think it's very, I think it's irresponsible. Quite frank, I think it's irresponsible. And from my vantage point, it looks very cheap. It looks very cheap. Somebody posted a book. I don't think it was a Damon Brand book, but it was in that same line on angels. And I was like, this. I won't waste my money on this either. It really was not. Really was not that. Really was not that. Yeah, that put a lot of problems. You need to know history, culture. You need to know why this technology works. That's my point. Do you understand the why? That's my big thing. And in those Damon Brand books, it does not give a lot of why. It gives a lot of push and play situations. That's why I don't go for certain books on Hoodoo that are like that. They aren't even good reference books. It's just push and play magic. And I'm not a proponent of that or supporter of that, quite frankly. I think it's irresponsible. But that's my tirade on that. But yes, definitely Jacobus, he's hitting on some stuff. He's hitting on some very heavy stuff in here. Very heavy stuff in here. This is really academic grade stuff. Academic grade stuff, and I like it. I like it. He goes into I see why it costs what it costs. I see why it costs what it costs. He goes into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About 6 or 7 different forms of amulets that he goes into in this book, and it's very good. Those who are interested in that. It's advanced stuff, but if that's your level, go for it. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I've been eating lately. But speaking of that, what did you think about the Shem grimoire? I'm quite interested on your take on that. Yeah, I'm definitely going to get the Divine Names book. Um, Definitely going to get that. That's going to be my next investment from his series. It was that. Was that the only one I was going to get? I think that was it. No. Is that the blue one? I think that was it. Yeah, the Divine Names. That was it. Also, there's another book similar called oh my goodness. It's called Kabbalistic Amulet, I think. Kabbalistic I'm gonna find it. Uh, or maybe it's Kabbalah Magic or something like that. Greetings, greetings. We're just kind of chatting some stuff up here. Yeah, he's got a lot of Golden Dawn. I don't mind the Solomonic parts. The Golden Dawn, I take it with a grain of salt because they also come to some very spurious conclusions that kind of arise out from nowhere. As long as you track this idea only back so far, and then it kind of comes from the ethers. I don't like that either. So they don't necessarily hold some of the things they propound. Uh, you can't trace a lineage to it. You can't see a progression of thought, and that gives me pause. Also, because the Golden Dawn for me, Golden Dawn magic is a lot of pomp, a lot of circumstance, and I think a lot of it's psychoactive. I think a lot of it is really psychology, which is fine. It's perfectly fine. I have nothing against that. But I don't come from a psychological, magical philosophy. So there's a disconnect there. There's a disconnect there. The Solomonic traditions I link with immediately. It works on a spirit magical philosophy. So I can get with that. So a lot of the stuff with the Shem Grimoire, I'm kind of, that's relevant to me. That's not so much. It's relevant to me. That's not so much. Yeah, very Aleister Crowley. Very yeah. It's a lot of the Golden Dawn is definitely a progenitor of the quote unquote New Age movement to some extent, and they have a lot of those psychological reference points, all in the mind kind of situations, and I'm not necessarily one of those people. So I do believe in the literal summoning of literal spirits that have an independent consciousness from mine. There are entities with their own personalities, their own character, etc., that can be invoked, evoked, summoned, etc. So, love the mojo. Wow, glad you did. What's happening, man? Glad you loved it. I'm glad it was worthwhile to you. Did you get your email with the new links and the extra bonus stuff? So while he's answering that, so but in the because I've been working with okay, great. I've been working with the Shem Hasbro regime for a while now. I've known about them for some years. Um and again, my perspective is how can we ground this magic? How can we make this practical? That's what I like about the grimoire tradition as a whole, as far as the Solomonic grimoire tradition, where it was about the evocation of spirits, and the building of talismans, right? Very hands-on, very physical, very tangible. Yes, there were some very theurgic exercises to, you know, with the HGA and with connecting with with the higher genius. I get all of that, but at the very same time, these magi, Solomonic magi, were in it for, I wouldn't say necessarily material gain, but at least material results, right? They were tangible, they were measurable results. And the kind of field that I'm in, the kind of life that I live, that's what my objective is. And also I'm a Taurus, so I'm very earth signs. Things that be concrete and tactile for me. So um, when I see systems that kind of get a little too airy-fairy for me, it's kind of somewhere, by and by in the great blue sky, kind of get turned off real quick. I get turned off real quick. But that's something I will say about his book. He does kind of get into talismans to an extent. I think his other book, Making Talismans, is a lot better, actually. Like, for example, I'll give you a prime example. I was looking at this just last night. Now I'll tell you, literally in a single page, I agree with him and disagree with him at the same time. So, like the middle pillar stuff, I kind of skip over that. Go to my note pages there. He relates it to the Torah. I think that's great. That also, because I'm also looking at the book by what was their name called? The Ciceros, I think, Tabitha Cicero, on invoking the angels of the Tarot, and then also there's a work by I'm getting two people confused. Is it Craig? I think it's Donald Craig. Wrote a book on tarot magic. It's an old book. That has some good pieces in it. But to my point here, he actually, never mind. I didn't answer my own question. Okay. Um. Interesting. So here's the point I like that he said. He talked about if you look at your astrological natal chart, you will notice that each house is ruled by a zodiacal sign at a particular degree. It occurred to me that if you calculate the ruler based on which Shem angel is in that degree, you will know the name of the angel that rules that house. I thought that was helpful. You know the angel that rules a certain house of your birth chart. So, for example, if you wanted to improve your personal presence, if you wanted to improve your public relations, then you'd work with the angel of your first house. If you wanted to improve your money, you would work with the angel of your second house. If you wanted to improve, your immediate home life and your immediate home life, the angel of the third house. If you want to work with your relationships, the angel of the seventh house. I thought that was very practical and very useful. Then he went and kind of lost me there with the changing of the names. Later on at that same page, he kind of lost me with that. I had to find that be too practical. But I got his rationale for doing it. Jacobus has a book on immediate magic. I have to look into that. I don't know if it's something I'd be interested in. Um, I have to look into that. But all right. So yeah, that's me kind of geeking out on what I've been reading up on and biting my teeth on and teaching in my class. Um, I am in the process of I guess the other reason is because I already have a system, a very good working system for the invocation of angels. So, yeah. Another problem I had was that, why the hell they start off in Leo? I mean, I get the reason they said for that, but I thought that was just arbitrary, actually. It should begin in Aries, but who am I to say? Anyway, enough of that. Enough of that. What are y'all questions? Now it's me kind of geeking out a little bit on angel magic and things like that, which I have a deep fascination with. The name of the book was Kabbalistic Magic. That's what it's called. Kabbalistic Magic. Spelled with a Q. Qabbalistic. Kabbalistic Magic is also a good book. All right. So, if you're interested in mojos, because I guess I came on the wrong time. Normally I'm on Tuesdays at around 9, but decided to get on when I could. In the webinar, there is, I just kind of go over the recipes I gave. Steady work, better employment, better business, return customers, lodestone. These are all mojo bad recipes I gave. Prosperity, good fortune, the extra hand, fast luck, road opener, blockbuster, crown of success, the great hand, master hand, 3 John's hand, gambler's luck, black cat bone bag, 3 jacks and a king, lady luck, attraction. We have a mojo bag recipe for sex, come to me, marry me, dominate lover, do as I say, love drawing, lover return, reconciliation, van, purification, mojo bags for blessing, cleansing, miracle, healing, radiant health. There's also mojo bag for healthy weight loss we put in here. Protection, return evil, back to sender, psychic protection, fiery wall of protection, dark arts, conjuration, commanding, bend over, High John the Conqueror, got to have that, the master key, court case, I'm still going, court case mojos, law stay away, stay out of jail, pay me, money released, banish enemies, cast off evil, jinx removing, uncrossing, curse removing, unhexing. Yeah, I'm still going here. We have a 5-finger grass mojo, dreams, astral projection, clairvoyance, fortune teller, root doctor. That's my kind of my all-purpose there. If you're a root doctor, you should definitely pick it up to get that one. Pregnancy, fertility, and creative. So creative is for people who are like musicians and artists and graphic designers and singers and actors and stuff like that. All right. So if you're interested in any of these, he's a doctor assuming more with how and God's decode with these things. I mean, you know, you work on it a little at a time. Things come to you over the years. I'm gonna tell you another little insider thing is that the spirits speak to me, and what will often happen is I'll be laying down, about to go to sleep or whatever, meditating, reflecting, whatever you call it, and the spirit will begin to give me a recipe, right? And normally they'll tell me what it's for, like a title of it, and then they'll give me ingredients in it. Sometimes they'll tell me how to compound it, if it's going to be a formula, like an oil or a bath or whatever, or, you know, it may be a powder, but not always. But they'll at least give me the name, what it's for, and a list of ingredients. I'll write it down on my phone. And then sure enough, within about a week and a half, 2 weeks max, I'll meet somebody, a client will show up, or a customer, and not knowing that the spirits gave me their answer 2 weeks before they contacted me. So I write those down and go from there. Also, you know, you go through a couple of books. I'm not beyond books. There's certain books I just don't cater to, and I just don't follow behind for a number of reasons. Some of them, it's a lot of eating the meat, spitting out the bone. So I'll look at a recipe and say, how can I make this my own, right? What would I change here? What does not make sense, right? So they may have a recipe for an oil that has 6 ingredients in it. And I say, okay, I need a great oil, great recipe, but I need a 7th ingredient. So then I begin to brainstorm. You know, this is, I call it root doctor Sudoku. Or they will list something that would make sense in their culture, but would not make sense in my own, right? Or, you know, is not obtainable for whatever reason, does not fit in that category for me. So I scratch that out and then write in an alternate, you know, and in that way I've made it mine, right? You know, so there are a number of ways. Once you get 3 things. Once you become proficient in communicating with spirits and vice versa. Number 2, you got to learn the law of correspondences and the doctrine of signatures. The doctrine of signatures. And then lastly, then you learn about, you know, your plants or whatever, you know, your 6 stones, roots and bones, your minerals or whatever. When you're armed with those 3 things, there's nothing you can't compound, right? Because the spirits are going to tell, so you're going to have a working database of your sticks, your stones, your bones, your roots, your herbs, all right? And so for example, client for money work. Man, there are all kinds of, you know, tricks in my head about money. Okay. And so I already have a working knowledge, a database to pull from, right? So the spirits will point out to me, no, not that, choose. And then they'll say, well, here's why. So you have, again, your register, all right, of your goods, herbs or whatever. You also have the why, because you understand the law of correspondence and the doctrine of signatures. And then the spirits, who can see what you can't see, hear what you can't hear, know what you don't know, are then instructing you on what to do and how to do it. So you can't go wrong with that. You can't go wrong with that. But yeah, the same thing we said for powders, oils, or whatever. You know, we can sit here all day and be giving oil recipes or whatever the case may be, right? I enjoy kind of restoring and reminding people that kind of old school conjure that didn't call for a lot of candles and glittery oil, and I'm not against any of that by any means, because I use all of that, all right? But when people become pigeonholed into, you know, you got to have a candle for this. It's not hoodoo if they don't have a candle, you know. Nothing could be further from the truth. And what's so fascinating to me is that people, you know, they'll hold up the banner of the candle, but don't know diddly about lamps. It's like, how does that happen? You know, or they'll say, well, you know, I need X, Y, and Z to happen, but I don't have a candle, and they kind of feel like they're stuck like Chuck. I'm like, no, you're not stuck like Chuck. Get rudimentary, right? Get rudimentary. Literally, from the least to the greatest, whether it's just simply taking dirt, literally, just wherever you are, whatever your condition, grabbing a handful of dirt from a certain location, right? That's a powder by itself, all right? Because you can now affect a secondary location with the power or the force or whatever of the original location, right? I can create, you know, ways to unblock my roads in money by combining bank dirt and crossroads dirt. Bam, there it is. You know, or, you know, money from a church and money from a casino. Unfuck my luck. Powder right there. There you go. I mean, just, you know, once you know those three things, you're armed. You're ready. You're ready. Everything else is just experience. It's just trial and error after that. Once you know how the principles work, you see. You know, people they want the powders because it's fancier, but really it's more sterile, right? They want it in a gold foil pack, which is fine. The three things. Communication with the spirits, understanding that's number one. Number two is understanding the law of correspondence and the doctrine of signatures. And then number three is having a working knowledge of your material. All right? Animal parts or bones or furs or dirts or whatever. Okay? You got those three things, you know, you're really armed. The rest of it is just training and trial and error. The rest of it is really just experience, all right? And that's what we go into in my apprenticeship program. It's one of the primary things we establish, those three things. So, you know, powders and gold foil are great. But then when you get the powders, okay, let me not do that. I don't want to decry anybody else. But I'll speak for myself. That's what I would do. I'll speak for myself. All right. I ordered a powder. All right. They don't even sell this powder anymore. They shut down a lot of their stuff because, well, I think they had bad marketing. I think they started appealing to the wrong people, and it got back to the big boys, right? But this is a love powder. It is incredibly potent. All right. And the people I know who made it, they were actually root doctors and a Polero. She's a root doctor. Her husband is a Polero. Um, I know they don't cut any corners. I can tell by looking at this, literally by looking at this, all right, that it has Ashe in it. Okay. There are dirts in here, powders in here, ground up herbs, ground up bones, dried blood is in here, etc. All right. That's how the old school powders were. They weren't just talcum powder and fragrance. Got nothing against talcum powder and fragrance. Got nothing against that. Okay. But, I guess my point is, getting back to the natural side of things and the practical side of things and the rudimentary side of things. That you don't need a lot of the elaborate to be effective. Just be authentic and you can stay rudimentary. Really, you really can. People look at me. I've got YouTube. I've studied computer technology as a profession. But when it comes to my conjure, I'm very much so, as they say, backwoods or whatever, right? I work the same way I received it. Greetings, Dr. Hesse, Mojo webinar. The supplemental notes and videos are out of this world. Thanks, there's something for everyone. Yeah, there really is. It really is. People were asking me in the webinar, hey, you have a Mojo webinar? I'm going to get to that. Just check the notes out. Those are it's going to be in there. So it's about 40 plus different Mojo recipes in there. So something in there for everybody, right? Yeah, something in there for everybody. That being said, speaking of fortified beads, okay, thank you. Yeah, I got my boxes in to ship out, so you guys will probably be getting your stuff in one of these that's been put into one of these to kind of keep it from rolling around or whatever the case may be. The little mailers and mailers. Somebody asked for powders. All right, y'all asked for them. I got them. They're up on the site, cosmic.com /lab. They're in there. Click under medicines and powders. I just put up mastery powders. Okay. So to command, compel, control, influence, that kind of situation. I also put instructions on there on how to use them. Just scroll down, go to additional information, and I've got some ideas on how to use it. I actually do a demonstration probably within the next week or so, a video. Like for example, the Fast Luck powder. Some of them are on back order or they're on pre-order. So as I get my herbs in, if you pre-order, yours will be the first to go out. Okay, that's all that means. You look at Fast Luck powder, for example. Why not take some of the Fast Luck powder, add it to your liquid soap, the pump soap. And so if you're going out to play the lottery or to get your cards or to go to bingo, whatever, your hands have already been washed and blessed, right? With that compound. You can make a cologne, put your Fast Luck powder, whatever, mastery powder, whatever, into, let's say, you can put them in any kind of alcohol base. You can put them in a liniment, make a liniment out of them using rubbing alcohol if you want. My powders don't come with fillers in them. But if you want to stretch them, I also put that in the instruction. You want to stretch it, we can, because they're very, very potent, very concentrated. My preference is baking soda. Mix it with baking soda if you need to stretch it. Um, but they're very, very concentrated formulas. Let me see if I can get a. I got fast stuff over here, I think. What is this? Let's gimme. Where's fast stuff? Somewhere. Probably in the sitting on the altar. But so for example, like here's my forget me not powder. Right, so you can see, it's very ground powder, very finely ground. Okay, but all the medicines in there. All right. Same thing here with the mastery powder. You can see that like that. Okay. So these are not perfumed. So how they grind them, how they smell. You're probably with the mastery powder. You're gonna get a strong clove smell with that. All right. So just be aware of that. Okay. Fast luck, you're gonna get a strong nutmeg, if I recall correctly. And forget me not, it's gonna be that it's gonna be flowery. It's gonna have a strong, because there's a lot of botanicals in here, so that's why. So just keep that in mind. I'm not really big on aesthetics. That's me personally. Okay. Hold that against me. But I do let you know that my stuff works. Might not look good. Might not even smell the best. But it works. It moves stuff. I think some people are more interested on how it looks or how it smells or its presentation, that you lose demonstration. And I'm definitely not this kind. I'm definitely the reverse. I would rather forego how it looks for if it works. That's just me personally. So you never play the next day, or I don't buy, or they play and I miss a number. Yeah. So work with the fast luck. Or if you're in that webinar, we've got fast luck and gambler's luck is a good one. Gambler's luck is a good one. I'd say that. All right. So I've rambled enough. Y'all let me know, what you want to talk about and what you want to get into. What's the link to the webinar? It's already passed, dear. The webinar was last Friday. So I tell you guys, my webinars be hitting. Right? Webinars be hitting. I make sure you get more than what you pay for always. I've done 5 or 6 of them now, and I have yet to have someone tell me they were not impressed, or they didn't get some benefit out of it. What really blesses me is that root workers, I'm talking about official, professional root doctors, sign up for my webinar. So that speaks volumes to me. Because we all can learn a new trick. All of us. I sign up. What's the next upcoming webinar? Honest to God, I don't know. That's how a lot of these things happen. I don't know. That's why I give myself a whole month. I don't know. It kind of comes, spontaneously. And then also, there's a lot of things that limit what I can do, because you got a 2 hour span. If you have a guest on there, they kind of split your time in half. And then the supplemental material. Then you got to do promotions. Then you got to handle, processing of people, right? Registration processing. So a lot goes into webinars. A lot goes into webinars. A lot of us automate, but a lot goes into it. Yeah. And so you want to make sure there's a topic. That's why when I did the Mojo, I said a crash course. It's still not, complete. There's so much more I could have given. But it was a crash course to kind of get you started, and enough to hit every level of skill. Whether you are a beginner, whether you're intermediate, whether you are boss at making Mojo bags, something there for everybody. So that's why I won't do a webinar on astrology like this. Can't hit that in 2 hours. Can't do one on angels in 2 hours. Like there's certain ones that's like you can't even begin to do it justice. And really it's not 2 hours. Really it's an hour. Really an hour. Because the other 30 minutes is either Q&A or demonstration. So that's the thing. But I'll tell you what I will do. I will put a thread up on my community wall on YouTube for you guys to give your commentary on what you want to see as a webinar. And I'm going to trust you guys that if you say you want to see this, we'll put a poll up to see who agrees. I think the next webinar will probably be with a guest. And I don't want to give away too much now because it's kind of early. And I don't want to say something and commit to it that I can't fulfill. So, but it's my intention to have a guest, a female guest this time. Okay. We definitely want to hear the goddess perspective. So, yeah, that's what I would say about that. What else I got? There's something else I wanted to tell y'all. No, that's not happening. Here's the other thing. If you do it in 2 parts, you also have to look at cost. Particularly, my first webinar I did on curses should have cost more. And the one I did on Mojos should have cost more. But I'm trying to keep things cost effective and also consistent. So that's what I want to talk to you guys about. The upgrades, going on to the site and going on to my digital products. I won't do a sale this month. I won't do a sale this month. Normally, y'all know I do a sale about every turn of the seasons. But what was I going to say? Oh, yes, I'm not going to do a sale this month. What I am going to do, I'm going to do upgrades. So if you've already, this is the time to purchase the products, the resources that you want, because they're going to be upgraded. And the people who have bought them already will be grandfathered into the upgrade. What do I mean by that? That means I'm going to go back through them. I'm going to revise some notes, update them, add some more stuff to them. They may get extra video content. They may get extra note content, etc. There's going to be more stuff added to that that offering, that package. And so therefore, the value gains a premium. I mentioned this to you guys at the beginning of the year, and I mentioned it again in March, that I was going to do this around about my birthday. Well, here it is my birthday's gone. Here it is in June. So around about the middle of the year, I'm going to begin to do that. So I know for a fact that Curses are going to get an update. I think I'm going to put another video up there. And Mojo is getting an update. So there is a regular version. Okay. If you get the recording, then there's also an updated, or I should say a bonus version, where you get like 5 more videos for the Mojo class. So I'm also going to do that for what was it? Herbs and Plants 101. That's about to undergo an upgrade. There's going to be another video, and I'm going to add some more notes to that. So all of them are going to go through upgrades. So I'm telling you now, I'm not going to do a sale, but it would be my recommendation to you to check that out. So my website is Khozmiq.com, Khozmiq, Khozmiq.com. You can click on resources to find the stuff I've already done. Some of them are webinars, some of them are private, videos that I've recorded. Some of them are live footage from actual classes that I give. So it's a combination of them. But all of my digital teachings and stuff is on, well, not all of them, but most of them. I think I've got, what I need to put up? Wash needs to get put up. And we're having difficulty with Wash. So y'all bear with me on that one. I apologize about that. We're having difficulties with that. That's why it's taking so long for me to get that stuff uploaded. There's some other unforeseeable issues going on surrounding that. Anyway, and I gotta put Curses up on the website. Curses, Mojos, I think is what I need to put up on the website. But yeah, so go take a look at that. It is also my intention to combine. That's what I was going to do. Thank you, Holy Ghost. That's what I was going to do. I was going to combine the Mojo webinar plus the bonus material plus the class I gave on Mojos to my students, like a Mojo super pack. So actually might do that. So yeah, there's some things being arranged. Think on it, pray on it, and support your brother. I make sure that my content is there. Okay, so yeah. All right. What am I gonna? I have to think about that one some more. But so the powders are up on the website. Y'all asked for powders. I've got that up there. Thank you. That's a long time coming, but it's coming. It's coming along, little at a time. I feel these spurts to do it, but I've got products up there. Thank you. Shout out to hope you don't mind, Oya, for giving me my first order on my website. I appreciate that, dear. She's always been very supportive of me. If you guys are not familiar with Oya, Oya Oshun, I believe her name is, on Facebook. Check her out. She is a proprietor, a manufacturer of spiritual goods, and a spiritualist and a worker herself. So definitely check her out. She's been on my radar for a long time, and she's very, very good at what she does. Y'all asked for powders, oils, and something else. I'll put baths up shortly. Oils, Here's the thing about oils. My oils have to steep. I do cold process of my oils. They have to steep for at least three to 4 weeks, at least. So, I have to think about how I'm going to keep up with orders on that. We'll see. Gotta make a way on that. But powders are nothing. Powders are very easy for me to get out because I have an industrial grinder, so I can drop them in there and they go. So I got plenty of powders. I got some fixed red brick dust I may put out there. We'll see. Last thing I want to say about the store is this. About shipping. Two things. About shipping and about price. As I've matured, not necessarily as a spiritualist, but as a proprietor of spiritual goods, the business side of spirituality, you learn some things. You learn things through trial and error. You learn things from watching other people. You learn things from being taught, from research, etc. What works, what doesn't work, what works for you, what doesn't work for you. I kind of found my sweet spot. So I have a flat rate shipping. Number one, because I'm trying to calculate shipping individually over everything I've got with, bottles and oils and baths and mojos and all that kind of stuff. It's not in me to do. It's not in me to do. It's number one. Number two is that that no matter what you get, no matter how much of it you get within reason, all right, it can still be shipped for that same flat rate price. So that also is helpful. So I figured, if you got 50 orders of whatever, I can still fit that in a certain kind of a mailer box. So that's what I charge. Second thing is about price. Before I got this website, I had another website, and on that other website, I was doing bathing crystals, bath salts, basically, and had a couple of different types of bath salts. They sold out. I redid them, and the packaging changed. And so one client reached out to me and said, why is it that when I bought this, 2 months ago, whatever, I got this much, and then you've changed the price. And so because the cost of the ingredients went up, all right. And so I could, I compensated her for that, but it made me think. So now I'm going to have or try to have a set price, and just adjust the amount that goes into it when the market fluctuates for certain of these ingredients. Some of these things are hard to find. Some of them are rare. Some of them are seasonal. So, that's the thing. So I'll put that in the policy as well. But all right, I'm done talking. I've had enough of hearing myself talk. Y'all, we're going to do this again next week. God bless you all. I'm working on some things behind the scenes. Pray for me for the work that I'm doing. Thank you so much for supporting me, all of you. I pray a special blessing over those watching me now, that wherever they are, whatever condition they may be in, that suddenly and without warning, it changes for the better. That the pressure they are encountering, the vicissitudes of life that are pushing and pressing against them, are building something in them internally. That the pressure will be a catalyst. That they will come to a critical mass in consciousness and evolve out of their condition. Bless the work of their hands, and whatever they've put their minds to do, may it succeed without delay and without setback. Ho! Yes, Lord. It is so, and it cannot be otherwise. It is so, and it cannot be otherwise. It is so, and it cannot be otherwise. I hold you all in the light of God, that never fails. God bless you all forever.